How the government shutdown is leaving new seasonal craft brews untapped. Cleaning up the violence, what some argue would make Douglas Park safer.
I don't know if there's a target on my family or what.
2 cousins killed in less than 3 months. A Columbia woman voices her fear.
It's week 7 of Friday Night Fever. It's homecoming in Fulton. The Hornets hosting the Boonville Pirates. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
2 murder victims from the same family. Today, we're learning more about the connection between a woman killed in Cooper County and a teen gunned down in a Columbia Park. Good afternoon. I'm Meg McLeod. KOMU 8's Lauren Bale sat down with one of Satina Beckner's relatives and has more on how the family's coping with 2 losses in such a short time.
Well, the family told me that they don't understand how this could have happened, and I sat down with an interview with them. Take a look.
Yep, same family. Same family.
For the Marshall family, loss has become too common.
I don't know if there's a target on my family or what.
2 of Yolanda Marshall's family members have been murdered in less than 3 months.
It's kind of hard out here. But it's all over stupidity stuff, you know. My nephew's murder, stupidity. My cousin's murder, stupidity. Folks got to do better.
Wednesday's murder of 32-year-old Satina Beckner left 4 children without a mother.
Her kids was her first priority. Her dad had just passed, and it was her dad and her kids. That was the most important things in her life.
And now a family that was still grieving one death will begin grieving another.
I just have to start this idea of what's going on. None whatsoever. I wish I knew. I really wish I knew, but I don't have no answers for it.
Authorities arrested 23-year-old Bryant Holmes Jr. early this morning in connection to Beckner's death. They say he and Beckner had an on-again, off-again relationship.
Columbia's Douglas Park area had its first violent crime incident in more than a year in August. Some neighbors told me prohibiting alcohol in the park would actually cut down on these types of incidents, but other community members disagree. I explored the area's history and whether people think an alcohol ban would work. Douglas Park is a popular place for shooting hoops. But when relations in the area turn violent, neighbors pay attention.
There are some people who kind of make it unsafe.
In March of 2012, a 17-year-old died from gunshot wounds received in the park. A month later, shots rang out once again, this time with no injuries. Then, 3 months later, 4 teenagers suffered injuries in a shootout near the park. In August of 2013, police responded to the first shots fired incident in more than a year. Officers found at least 5 bullet casings, but no injuries. However, reports from the Columbia Police show this does not account for all of the violent incidents in the area. In the past year, there have been 41 reported violent crimes within a quarter mile of the park, including 31 assaults, 7 instances of aggravated assault, and 3 robberies. Some say to clean up the violence, people need to clean up the park.
You come over here, you're going to see beer bottles, you're going to see bags of chips, you're going to see trash everywhere. If people are in a place where they don't feel comfortable, where they're like looking around like, man, this place is garbage, they're going to treat it like garbage. They're going to act badly. That's true anywhere you go in the world.
But others say alcohol fuels the disputes and are supportive of a ban.
Since it's legal here, definitely. Because a lot of people drink here over in the shelters, so definitely here.
Douglas Park would not be the first Columbia park to ban alcohol.
We had a lot of issues downtown with alcohol. And so that was why the city council members moved to go ahead and ban alcohol in like Flat Branch Park.
The city council approved an alcohol ban at Flat Branch, Paquin, and Village Square parks in March 2011. But Douglas Park is one of the 67 others still allowing alcohol, something First Ward Councilman Fred Schmidt proposed to change in February.
There has been some discussion lately about alcohol in Douglas Park, and so after some back and forth with some people in the neighborhood, we are I guess I want to look into an ordinance, go ahead and look into an ordinance which will start the public debate about this, the public discussion of this.
The council struck down the ordinance, backed by fierce opposition from Keep Columbia Free. The group's treasurer and blogger says alcohol is not the problem.
I think it's because of the people who are involved in at the park, not the alcohol consumption. I don't think the alcohol, just by the nature of alcohol being consumed by a person, they will commit more crimes.
For now, basketball and booze share the same court. For a more detailed look at the area we surveyed, head to our website, KOMU.com. Another week of Friday Night Fever. Tonight out in Fulton, let's check in with Dave, Jim, and Jack to see what's up for tonight's matchup.
Well, here it is, Week 7 of Friday Night Fever. We're live here in Fulton. The Hornets hosting the Boonville Pirates, Dave. Not only did the Pirates roll in from the west, but the clouds are rolling in from the west as well.
And it's starting to cool off a little bit. We're at 79 now, looking for about 75 at kickoff. The clouds are moving in, but don't expect any rain until after midnight.
Chris Trevino's with the Tigers in Athens, Georgia, filling in. Jack Washer, tell us about tonight's matchup.
Well, we got Fulton 4-2. Fulton's had a couple lean years in the past, but they're 4-2. They're on a great roll. Boonville comes in at 2-4. They only have 30 players on their roster, so they got a lot to prove tonight. Homecoming in Fulton.
All right, much more from Fulton, but for now, we'll send it back to the studio.
An even bigger buzz for Tiger football in Georgia this weekend with some recent Bulldog injuries. Do the Tigers have a chance to move up in the polls? KOMU 8's Joe Prozac joins us live from Athens with a preview of this weekend's game.
Earlier today, I spoke with a man who was definitely qualified to give his expert opinion on tomorrow's Mizzou-Georgia game. Former Bulldog great and Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker and I sat down to talk about the keys to tomorrow's game. Walker told me he thinks the winner of the game is going to be whichever team can win the physical battle. And by that he meant whichever team can take the hits and keep coming back for more. And like any true Bulldog fan, Walker told me he thinks Georgia has the edge tomorrow, due most part to their 92,000 fans that will be showing up to pack this stadium. Reporting live in Athens, Georgia, Joe Prozac, KOMU 8 Sports.
Day 11 of the sort of government shutdown and just 6 days before possible debt default. Congressional Republicans looked eager to strike a deal today. Speaker John Boehner now debating a deal to avoid default and reopen the government. Senate GOP lawmakers went to the White House to discuss with the president, but Democrats demand a long-term deal. And that current shutdown is cutting off some small brewers. KOMU 8's Nick Chabaria talked with a few Columbia beer makers who say their blends have to be put on hold. Nick, what are they saying?
Meg, the construction behind me, once completed, will be home to one of Columbia's newest microbreweries. The Logboat Brewing Company is expecting to open its doors by the end of the year, but for now, the government shutdown has those plans on hold.
Basically, you just rent it out.
Logboat Brewing Company is almost open.
Bright tanks will be kind of shifted over to this area.
Construction is well underway and the floor plans laid out.
But big concrete patio right here.
There's only one problem.
I think we were really close to licensure, and then, the closure happened, and we're kind of in entrepreneurial purgatory.
Brewers can't sell new beers without approval from the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, one of the commissions suspended during the government shutdown.
Luckily, we're still okay. If this drags on longer and if we default and, if things get worse, then, it'll be a bigger issue for us.
Those already in production are facing bigger issues.
For the people that have already started, getting seasonal release beers out is impossible because they can't get their labels processed.
That means losing business.
For some breweries who are creating new seasonal beers that can't put them out right now, they probably have the beer already brewed and it's just sitting in a warehouse.
Brewing beer is all these owners ask to do, but so far the federal shutdown has left them dry.
We're just going to keep pressing forward and hope for the best outcome here.
Hunt tells me that he is hopeful that the shutdown will end by November when he gets his brewing equipment in. Otherwise, he says his business will start losing serious money. Reporting live in Columbia, Nick Chabaria, KOMU 8 News. We'll be right back after this break.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather.
Hey, Missouri, welcome back. Your time is 6:12 right now, and it was a warm day for us here in October. Some of us got up to 81, 82 degrees, but looking at our satellite and radar here, we do have a low pressure system up to our north. That's giving them quite a bit of rain. That will start moving down our way here throughout the night tonight and into tomorrow morning. Looking closer here, though, at mid-Missouri, we do just have a few clouds over here, especially in our western viewing area, but pretty much everyone can see a few clouds out there if you look out at the sky, but you can see a little bit of blue sky as well. Otherwise, looking at our big picture here for the next couple days, what you can expect this weekend. Here's this cold front, and it's going to be moving our way overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and that rain again is going to move down as well. This will be coming tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, that's going to be out of the area because this high pressure system is going to come in and push that right out of the way here, and we're going to see plenty of sun tomorrow late afternoon before the sun does go down, and cooler temperatures is behind that pressure system as well. Looking at our temperatures around the area, 78 in St. Louis, 73 over in Kansas City and over in Des Moines as well. You can really see where this cold front is. It's 56 there over in North Platte, Nebraska. You can see definitely the cooler temperatures behind it. We are feeling a bit windy out there right now. 10 miles per hour here in Columbia, wind from the southeast, 13 up in Kirksville and over in Kansas City as well. As the cold front moves through, those winds will stay pretty much right around that area as well. 75 degrees here in Columbia, 77 in Jeff City, 76 in Boonville and over in Brunswick, 76 over in Sedalia as well, as we finally start to cool down for our evening after a very warm day today in October. Looking at our precipcast, just to illustrate this one more time, after midnight tonight, the rain starts to come right on through the area, but again, it'll be out of here by mid-morning into our afternoon tomorrow, and the clouds will be leaving us as well. So the clouds will come in tonight, then be out of here by tomorrow afternoon. It is Friday Night Fever here, and we are in Fulton, and their kickoff temperature today is going to be right around 71 degrees here, Boonville versus Fulton, with increasing cloudiness, but they should remain dry here. Should be a great night for Friday Night Football around Missouri. 58 degrees is our overnight low, though, with, again, those winds from the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and those showers moving in overnight as well, but less than a half an inch is expected from the rain. So a nice little light shower here is all that can really be expected from the scattered showers. 74 tomorrow with early morning rain, then sunshine in the afternoon, and in the next 3 days, we're going to start cooling down a little bit. 72 on Sunday. For Columbus Day, it's going to be pretty nice with a little bit of clouds in the area, but otherwise temperatures are right around that 73 degree mark with another chance for rain coming on Tuesday and a lot cooler temperatures behind that. We're back down into the 60s. Well, right now, let's take a look at our weather IQ. The average number of lightning strikes per month per hour in Florida is A, 500, B, 5,000, or C, 11,000. Meg, what do you think?
Oh, gosh. I'll go for B.
B, 5,000. That is correct.
Yay!
Florida is the lightning strike capital.
Wow, very interesting. Well, thank you, Ken. We will be right back. A controversial case and a controversial issue in journalism. Earlier this month, an Osage County case sparked some outrage on KOMU8's Facebook page when we named an alleged victim. In our continuing coverage of the sexual harassment accusations against County Sheriff Michael Dixon, many viewers questioned our judgment. In this week's Your View segment, we look at what led to our decision to publish the woman's name.
KOMU began following this story in July and continued covering it as new details surfaced, including this report in September.
As the weekend's Osage County Sheriff Michael Dixon still has his job even after facing sexual misconduct charges this week.
Viewers voiced their opinions on Facebook about us using the accuser's name. Kelly Suzanne Harding wrote, "Don't you think it would have been prudent for you all to avoid listing any accuser's name in your article since the police report only identifies the victim by initials? Wait to out the alleged victim, KOMU." KOMU content manager Matt Johnson says the victim's name was public knowledge throughout the community.
A lot of the people that we spoke with down in Bell knew the victim, knew about the allegations, and so because of that, we felt like there was no harm to be done by using her name.
KOMU spoke with the alleged victim when reporters used her name in July.
We also spoke with her on the phone, and she was aware that we were doing several stories about this, and she was also okay with us using her name.
But KOMU never revealed we spoke with the victim on the phone, which prompted other viewers to comment. Sandra Veltrop wrote, "You screwed up, KOMU, and you've been screwing up more and more lately. And as a result of this, you are going to lose viewers, just like me. And if I was the victim, I would be furious with you. So with that being said, goodbye and good luck." We consulted Sandy Davidson, a journalism and law professor at MU who is an expert on this type of law.
It becomes an ethical question of whether to use a sexual assault or rape victim's name. But I think it can be empowering if the person has consented and that person's name is used.
Davidson says KOMU's mistake was a lack of transparency.
The mistake, I believe, was that the station did not tell viewers that indeed she had consented, and of course that caused criticism.
So what do you think? Should we have named the victim in the original and follow-up stories? Should we have been more transparent and said we spoke with the victim? Let us know via Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. Then watch Friday nights at 6 as we report your view of the news.
Coming up, we'll have a live look from Athens, Georgia, and we'll also have the two head coaches of the Fulton Hornets and the Boonville Pirates. That's next in sports.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
As you can see behind me, Sanford Stadium here in Athens, Georgia is pretty quiet, but come tomorrow when two of the hottest quarterbacks in the country face off, it can get pretty electric. Over for Georgia, it's going to be Aaron Murray. E.J. Gaines, Mizzou cornerback, told me preparing for him is like preparing for an NFL caliber quarterback because Murray has been leading a very potent Georgia offense despite the fact that he's had several key injuries to his running backs and wide receivers. But on the Mizzou sidelines, the Tigers are led by James Franklin, who Coach Pinkel says can hold his own with anybody in the country right now. In fact, he's employing a new style of leadership, being more vocal with his teammates than he's ever been. LaDamian Washington, the Tigers wide receiver, told me earlier this week that during the Vanderbilt game, Franklin was on the sidelines yelling at his teammates to get mad, and for every time Vanderbilt hit them, the Mizzou Tigers would hit them back twice as hard. The Tigers are hoping they can bring that kind of fire and intensity to the field tomorrow, because they're going to have a tough test with number 7 Georgia. Now we'll send it over to Jack Washer, who's in Fulton. He's live with Friday Night Fever. Welcome back. It's week 7 of Friday Night Fever. We're live at Fulton between the Fulton Hornets and the Boonville Pirates. I'm joined alongside Fulton's head coach, Pat Kelly. His 19th year at Fulton, 17th as a head coach. Coach, you're 4-2 this year. It's been a couple lean years here at Fulton. What's been the turnaround this year?
Well, I think it's just we've got great senior leadership. Those guys, worked really hard this summer. And we felt like we were pretty close last year, just didn't have the wins to show for it. But they've come out this year, played really well, and, it's all about kids.
And you talk about your leadership. Talk about your quarterback, Joe Schlemer, and what he means to this team.
Well, he means a great deal. He's our leader on the field. He's our leader off the field. He does a great job making sure people are there in the summers and all our workouts that we do. And, he's got great command of the game. He's patient. He's calm. And, just a joy to coach.
What's your favorite moment of coaching here? You've been here for 19 years, 17 as a head coach. You have one particular memory?
Oh, there's a lot. You put me on the spot. There's a lot of those, in 17 years. You just make so many relationships with the kids, and there are a lot of those guys that come back, and I think probably the proudest moments is just when kids come back and say hi.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight. And all right. And also the Cardinals and the Dodgers, they have game 1 of the NLCS tonight. That game will begin at 7:30. Zach Greinke opposes Cardinals pitcher Joe Kelly. We'll have full highlights of week 7 of Friday Night Fever at 10 o'clock from Fulton High School. This is Jack Washer for KOMU 8 Sports.
Everyone, it's week 7 of Friday Night Fever. We're live here in Fulton. It's homecoming for the Hornets as they host the Boonville Pirates. Sawyer Young is the drum major at Fulton High School. How do you become a drum major?
You work really hard. It's a lot of practice and repetition, but eventually it just comes naturally.
As I mentioned, it was homecoming. You already had some activities, the parade. What has today been like?
Oh, it's been a little crazy, but it's been fun.
And what's going to happen at halftime?
Halftime, we're going to do part of our show from Gladiator, and then, that's...
How much practice goes into a halftime show?
A lot of practice, a lot of early mornings, a lot of late afternoons.
All right, you're a senior. What are your college plans?
I'm planning on heading to Westminster and then graduate college later on.
And what will you study?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Got a smart guy over here,
No
just
kidding.
like the guest at 6 o'clock. Sawyer Young, thank you very much for your time. We sure do appreciate it.
No problem.
Dave, the weather?
Still kind of breezy. Temperatures will be falling back to around 74, 75 degrees. No rain till after midnight.
Jack, you got 5 seconds to talk about the game.
Fulton, Boonville, 4-2 versus 2-4.
All righty. Let's turn it over to the Fulton cheerleaders.